Okay, this is our last section for this assignment. It's the right system of equations from context. So this is probably one of the harder ones, just because sometimes I think word problems, freak us out a little bit. So it says here, Dominic runs a farm stand that sells peaches and grapes. Yesterday, Dominic sold 34 pounds of peaches and 45 pounds of grapes for a total revenue of $192.25. Today, he sold 47 pounds of peaches and 16 pounds of grapes for a total revenue of $208. Write a system of equations that could be used to determine the price of each pound of peaches and the price of each pound of grapes. Define the variables that you use to write the system. Okay, so let me see here. Let's see here. Dominic sold 34 pounds of peaches and 45 pounds of grapes for a total revenue of $192.25. So that in and of itself is an equation, right? So let's see here. I'm going to try and retype the equation, but not using Chewy because that's literally the worst font. My gosh, what is up with this font? Do they not just have like a regular font? I guess we'll try Open Sans. See if we can make it smaller. All right, let's see here. Dominic sold 34 pounds of peaches. And I'm just retyping it so it's easier to look. 45 pounds of grapes for a total revenue. 45 pounds of grapes for a total revenue of $192.25. $192 and I already forgot. 25 cents. Okay, cool. So let's see here. Let's break down this equation. I want to make it smaller because I want it to just be on one line. Okay, cool. So let's go back to our pencil. So he sold 34 pounds of peaches and 45 pounds of grapes for a total equals revenue of $192.25, right? So we could write 34 pounds, maybe we use P for peaches, and the word and usually means plus 45 pounds of grapes. Okay, so we could easily just rewrite that, write what that sentence means as an equation, just looking at, keywords. Of typically means multiply, of typically means multiply, and the word and typically means addition, right? For a total usually means like all together, so equals, and then our final number over on the other side. So now we have our first equation, but we want to make sure that we really specifically defined our variables. So we want to think through, what does that P really represent in this equation, right? So the 34 represents pounds. So it's sold 34 pounds of peaches, right? Plus the 45 pounds of grapes to make a total revenue of $192.25. So how did we get from pounds of peaches and pounds of grapes to dollars? Well, we're going to have to take how much a pound of peaches costs. So what that P really represents is the price per pound of peaches. That's what that represents in this equation. And the same thing with the G, right? If you take 45 and you multiply by G, you're going to get a dollar amount, right? So what that's telling us is the G represents the price per pound of grapes. Okay, so that's how you're getting from pounds to a final answer that's dollars. Okay, so let's see here. If we hop back here, we're saying P, and it looks like they've maybe got a drop down for us. The price per pound of peaches, and G is going to be the price per pound of grapes. Okay, so let's see if we can come up with a second equation now. Right, we came up with our first equation, 34p plus 45g equals 192.25. 34p plus 45g equals 192.25. Okay, so that's our first equation. Now we need a second equation. Today, he sold 47 pounds of peaches and 16 pounds of grapes for a total revenue of $208. All right, so let's hop over here. We're going to do the same thing. It says today he sold, gosh, I already forgot. Today he sold 47 pounds of peaches, 47 pounds of peaches, and I think it was 16, but we'll double check that, pounds of grapes for a total revenue of $208. Of $208. All right, so same deal. I'm going to expand this out so it's just one line. And now sometimes it's easier. It's definitely easier to be able to go through to underline like numbers, to circle keywords. And I find it really helpful when I have it written out like this and I can just write, you know, as my expressions begin to make sense in my mind, I can write them, you know, immediately below the sentence that I'm working with. Or, you know, sometimes if you're working with a specific book, you kind of have to work off to the side or in the margins or whatever. But here it's nice because I have all the space. So he has 47 pounds of peaches and 16 pounds of grapes for a total, right, for a total revenue of $208, right? So we know the total revenue of $208 is on the right-hand side of the equal sign. I can do my same deal. I have 47. The word of typically means multiply. We used peaches to represent price per pound of peaches. The word and tells me plus. I've got 16 pounds of grapes for a total of $208. And voila, I have my second equation. 47p plus 16g equals 208. 47p plus 16g equals 208. We're going to go ahead and submit, see if Delta Math likes our answer. Oh, huzzah, they did. Okay. So that's one way to approach writing your system of equations from your word problem. And that's all I've got for you guys for this assignment. Stay tuned for more videos. Thanks so much. I hope you enjoy your day off tomorrow.